Guys, ChrisDComedy.com for my Tiki Wikis. I got shows this Friday and Saturday, January 12th and 13th. We got Friday, January 12th at the Magnolia Theater in El Cajon, California, San Diego, and January 13th at the Wiltern in Los Angeles. Tickets, ChrisDComedy.com, Chrissy, California. I will not be in your area for probably a year and a half, so come down, hang out. Then next month, February 2nd, in Nashville, February 3rd, Washington, D.C., February 8th, Reno, Nevada, the Grand Sierra Resort. And then we're going to film my special sometime in February, March, still in Atlanta, but that is not on sale yet, so I don't know. February 8th in Reno could be my last show for a year plus. ChrisDComedy.com for Tiki Wikis. Go do it.
And MikeCannonComedy.com for all of my dates. Thank you so much to all the Chaos people that have been coming out lately. Thank you for identifying yourself. It's very cool. January 11th through the 14th, I'll be in Tampa, Florida for the Sunshine Comedy Fest. New festival, first year. No idea how it's going to go. Come out. Tickets at my site. And then the 25th of January, I'm in Vegas. Then I'm in Chandler, Arizona, right outside of Phoenix, January 26th through the 27th. I got Austin, Texas on February 15th at the Vulcan. February 16th and the 17th, I'm in Fort Worth, Texas. And then I'm coming back around through Jersey and Baltimore in March. But all dates coming in, being added, MikeCannonComedy.com. Very exciting stuff, so be on the lookout for that.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Chrissy Chaos with my life partner, Michael Cannon. We have Jihad John on the ones and twos. We have Wreck-It Ralph Vito, who just went out, I would assume, to poop.
Yeah, he had that look on his face.
Speaking of poop, I listened to a podcast. I'm listening, you know, Steven? His Instagram name is Steven. I think it's just Steven.
He got in early.
John, can you go on Instagram and see if there's a guy? He's a British man, very, very, very like articulate, like well spoken. I mean, every British guy is.
Yeah,
every British guy is well spoken.
That's the brilliance of that accent is like no matter what your education level is, you sound like Ivy League.
Right. No, Stevn. Steven. Yes. Stephen Bartlett. Stephen Bartlett. His Instagram handle is just Steven.
That's pretty sick.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
Stephen Bartlett. This guy, unbelievable. I've listened to his pod. Yeah, here we go. Great podcast. He's taught, by the way, one of the latest episodes he did was Sex Can Fix Your Sleep Problems. This, I guess, psychiatrist is smoking hot, saying just go have sex. But Stephen Bartlett, I listened. The guy's name is Dr. Pooh. He called himself Dr. Pooh. His name, I think, is on Instagram. It's Gut Health MD on Instagram. Nobody knows how to pronounce his last name. It's like Bill, like Bill. I'm Polish.
Oh, I honestly thought he was just an Indian doctor.
You know,
I thought Dr. Pooh.
Wait, Gut Health. Okay. Are you spelling health right? Gut Health. Yeah. HELM. Hold on. What the hell is this guy's name? Because dude, it's unbelievable. This guy, what? Okay, the Gut Health MD. The Gut Health MD. So this guy, the Gut Health MD, I don't know, this is, right here, Dr. His last name is Bolshewitz. His last name might be bullshit in Polish. Gut Health MD, this guy, unbelievable. The gut health. Do you know the brain-gut connection?
I mean, I do.
What do you know about it?
Just because what we've been discussing lately, and, granted, my TikTok algorithm is either like tiny Mexican men digging out holes in the woods and building mud huts, or like 40-year-old man, here's how to take your power back. Right. Stuff. So this has been just roaming in my stuff, and I've been doing like moderate intermittent fasting because on your recommendation, because it's helped my energy levels, 10 a.m. and then 8 p.m.
Right.
And then I also watched some stuff where it's like if you do that, your stomach is kind of eating away at its own lining, so you have to do preventative stuff to make sure your gut health is right. And so I've been drinking kombucha. I am approaching all of this with like somebody who's read 400 headlines and refuses to read the articles.
Yes. So this is I personally think a must listen to Stephen Bartlett's podcast, this episode with Dr. Pooh. I haven't listened to his other podcast episodes. I'm sure they're all awesome and brilliant because this guy just knows how to ask amazing questions. He was like a CEO. I think the podcast is called Diary of a CEO. And this guy became a CEO.
I'm surprised he also didn't pun that up and be like diarrhea of a CEO.
Well, that's why he's successful and we're not.
Yeah, we just do the extra joke.
Yeah. And so he is a fantastic interviewer, this guy. And he was a CEO of his own company at 30. And this guy is great. And I thought he was gay for like the first hour. He's not. And then he was like, my partner. And I was like, here it is.
Yeah.
He was like, she. And I was like, what? She?
I mean, he does not look like a bio male in that.
No, not Dr.
Right.
Pooh. Dr. Pooh is straight. I thought Stephen Bartlett was gay.
Gotcha.
But that's just because he sounds so smart and British. And when you have a British accent, I just think everybody's gay because it's you're so smart and articulate and you're taking such good care of yourself that to me, like an idiot from Queens, Brooklyn, I think that you're gay.
Right. And does it also maybe bubble some subconscious attraction to them? So you want to project your own homosexuality onto them?
I'm a sapiosexual attracted to intelligence, and this man is very intelligent. So my brain is like, you know what, dude, there might be a vagina there somewhere.
I'm a Caitlin Clarkosexual where I just like girls who can hoop.
Yes, exactly. So anyway, the gut microbiome, if you don't know about the brain-gut connection, it is all the research. And again, I'm paraphrasing. Go listen to this guy, this actual doctor, scientist who's dedicated his life to figuring this stuff out. The connection between the brain and the gut is so overwhelming that you'd have to be an idiot to not think your brain is connected to your gut. You have, just on your thumb, like 38 million microbes, okay? Microbes. That we are basically, from what this podcast said, we are basically like a super organism. We are just a collection of microbes, little organisms that have just become what we've become.
Right.
That's all we are. That's what the universe sees. Is
stardust.
That's what you are. You're just microbes that have take different forms. To the universe, you're microbes that take on different forms. Now, the most plentiful, where most of your microbes are, like 38 trillion of them, I think, are in the lining of your gut. So this whole concept of calories in, calories out is not so cut and dry. He said the whole idea of you just consuming, he said, we are obsessed in the Western world with calories. That's what you think like you need to have less of and weight loss and all that. That is not the whole story. He was like, calories is a form of energy. You need calories for energy. It's what you're doing to your gut microbiome is the thing, like literally, that makes you an actual different person. He said, when you drink a can of Diet Coke, yes, it has 0 calories, but the aspartame and other chemicals in that literally changes your gut microbiome to such an extent that you are a different person as you're digesting that Diet Coke. So would it be better to drink a Diet Coke with 0 calories or have, a bushel of kale that's 50 calories, but is not disturbing your gut microbiome? Or if it is disturbing your gut microbiome, it's disturbing it in such a positive way. He said, because when you eat anything, gut microbiomes that are attracted to sugar will run to the sugar, that are attracted to fiber will run to the fiber. And the ones that are attracted to the fiber, he said, research has shown in everything from mice to humans that the ones that are attracted to the fiber are the ones that make you healthier and happier. So he said, so this whole idea of, and he said also, based off how your gut microbiome is situated in an unhealthy person, your body, even if you have these calories in, calories out thing, may not burn, let's call it 2,000 calories, in the same effective way as someone with a healthy gut microbiome would burn 2,000 calories. So this is why people yo-yo weight and don't lose weight, because your gut microbiome is not situated in a way that's working for you. And he said, furthermore, your gut microbiome, when you're like craving food, you're not craving it. It's your gut microbiome that's craving it. So he said, when you are eating sugar, it's because your gut microbiomes that are attracted to sugar are overwhelming. So when you stop giving it that, it's not that you're changing, it's your gut microbiome has shifted where now you're not craving that, you're craving the fiber.
Well, 2 things out of that. that I
I
took out of
probably
that.
said that all wrong.
It was unbelievable. I mean, whether or not it was correct is almost irrelevant.
I stick to it, dude.
It was thorough.
Yep.
I like
Dr. Pooh's gonna sue me.
The main thing I took out of that is if you drink Diet Coke, you now have an excuse for bad behavior. Because once you drink the Diet Coke, you're not even you anymore.
You
man.
really think I had sex with that woman, me? I drank Diet Coke.
Yeah, and in DC, baby, you know I'm liable to do anything. I'm
Yeah.
a different man. And then on the other one, damn, I already forgot it, but it was at the end and it was good.
Gut microbiome, that it's attracted to the sugar versus the fiber. Calories in, calories out.
So that's a thing where I've been trying to call my brain like a bitch sometimes, or certain parts of my body like shut up, like I don't have to take orders from you. My consciousness is the sum of all its parts.
By the way,
it's
I'm
greater.
sorry to cut you off. If you want to be called a bitch, just look at our Reddit.
Top comment, get him off the show.
Yes.
He's not Greek, but but yeah, but you have power over it, where if you actually recognize that it's a part of your body that requires or is demanding that, you can call your gut biome a stupid cuck, and I will not listen to you, and my will is greater than my biome.
Yep. There
You know
it
what
is.
I mean?
And another big part, we talked about drinking kombucha. The reason why Mike drinks kombucha is because fermented foods, kombucha, pickles, homemade sauerkraut, fermented foods, yogurt, Greek yogurt, all those things are so plentiful and healthy for your gut microbiome that it is a necessary part of intermittent fasting or dieting in general, is to have fermented foods. He also said that what the studies show, and I don't know how this is possible, that the healthiest way to feed your gut microbiome is to give it 30 different varieties of plants a week. I'm like, how do you do that? Like, we just had an egg wrap. It had broccoli, spinach, peppers, and onions. So that's 4 different plants right
I don't know about you. I'm like, well, that's enough.
Yeah.
That's
But
all my greens.
So the average American gets or Westerner gets about 10 to 15 varieties of plants.
A day or
No, a week.
a week?
So I can't even name. Let's try. I want to try to name right now 30 different varieties of plants and vegetables that would count as, okay, well, let's all go around
That
and
we've
name
eaten.
one.
That we've eaten, not just heard of.
That are edible. If we could, okay, so I'll start. Broccoli,
Kale.
Mushrooms.
on peppers,
Fennel.
Green onion, like scallion.
judges say yes.
Carrots.
Beets,
Cabbage.
cabbage. We're literally at 10 and we're running out.
Yeah.
Cabbage is 1.
Okay.
We're at 10.
Peppers.
I said that
Are
already.
said
you
that
gonna
before.
say you've
You
said
said that the
6
last
kinds
thing.
of peppers?
I said that.
You're
No, it
changing
counts as
colors.
the 10 already.
No, but you said that when we were talking about
Cauliflower.
Cauliflower, 11.
Does potatoes count?
Yeah,
They're a
it has
plant,
to.
right?
Yeah, it has
the
to.
wrap. Oranges.
13.
That's a fruit.
Mushrooms.
No, but it's a
You
plant.
already said
plant.
mushrooms.
Oh, you said
I said
Yeah.
mushrooms.
You said mushrooms already. 13.
Okay, so fruit counts as
I
a
think
plant.
yeah, it has to, dude. It has to.
Oh, then I
Plant.
might be closer than I thought of what I eat then.
Apples,
weekly.
dragon
yeah, apples,
fruit.
pear,
Dragon fruit, 15. We're at 15. We're literally half.
banana,
Banana, 16.
Kale.
strawberries.
Kale. I said kale.
I did too, yeah.
We both, dude, you see how fucking hard this is?
Well, it's harder to keep track of 30 things just in general.
I can't. So here's the thing. Here's 2 other things real quick. He said sprouts, like a broccoli sprout, packs more fiber in it, like a little sprout, than a full bushel head of broccoli. He said, so sprouts is the way to go.
But it feels like you're eating the lint out of pubes. You know what I mean? Like, that is a disgust. Why is it that the grossest shit is the best for you? Like, you can't even cook it or flavor it, right? Because if you cook it, then you zap all the nutrition out of it. And so you're just eating raw, cold broccoli sprout.
He said broccoli sprouts, that's what to eat. He also said there's been an assault on fruit. He was like, eat fruit. fruit is good for you. Like this whole idea of, he said there's studies that showed diabetics who eat fruit reverse their diabetes. This whole idea of all sugar is bad is like, I don't know what he said specifically. I would assume it's some big food industry thing trying to get you away from the fruit. But he was like, dude, have fruit. He was like, if you have kids, give them fruit. Like, you know, like rather than my kid eating Nutella sandwiches, I'm like, eat 5 oranges. You know, eat blueberries all day.
You know, if people were mad at you for doing Irish accents a few weeks ago, I can't wait to see how people feel about you talking about intermittent fasting and dieting for 15 minutes.
That's it. I'm eating fruit.
Do you know what more interested me? Like the thing that really stuck out to me though is the effect that it has on your mental health. Because, you know, I mean, you and I are classic binge eaters where we will, especially earlier in our comedy when we'd go on the road. Remember that when we were on the Monster Energy drink tour,
which sold no tickets.
We sold no tickets. And on like the 3rd date, we were just in a hotel somewhere and we ordered Domino's. We ordered like pies for each of us, cheesy bread, wings, and a chocolate pizza as well. And I remember after eating it and we felt like shit. And I think we were probably sad for like the better part of a week. And we had no idea why. We thought it was 100% due to the low ticket sales. But no, it was because we were just shoving depressants into our gut biome.
It's empty food.
Empty food.
Like I sit in a room, I sit in an office and I'm locked in with like fucking like 10 different kinds of potato chips all day.
Right.
So I intermittent fast till like 2:30. And then 2:30 hits, I have my lunch. And then for the next 3 hours while I'm locked in this room, I'm just fucking hungry. And I can't stop eating potato chips, but they do nothing.
Change that to sauerkraut. Just get a bag of sauerkraut.
No, seriously, homemade sauerkraut. He said dicing up cabbage, putting like some vinegar, brine, water, salt solution in, and leaving it in like a damp, like a cool place for like a week. He said it's delicious, and it is the fermented food. Like you can eat that and get more. I think it's like probiotics, prebiotics, and postbiotics.
How much are you ruining everybody's day the moment you open that Ziploc? Just the fucking fermented stink that fills wherever you are.
It's 2024, so now let's talk about something important. If you get injured by a person, place, or thing, you deserve to get paid, player. Yes, if you're in an accident, not calling a lawyer means you could be leaving money on the table, and nobody wants you to do that. When you're seriously hurt, your injury could be worth millions, okay? Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury firm. They have over 100 offices nationwide and more than 1,000 lawyers with over $20 billion recovered for over 500,000 clients. Morgan has a proven track record of fighting to get you full and fair compensation. Full and fair, okay? Submitting an injury claim with Morgan & Morgan is so easy. Appearing on the Jimmy Kimmel live show drunk is hard, okay? That was hard. I had too many tequilas, but I pulled it together. If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/chaos or dial #law #529 from your cell phone. That's FOR thepeople.com/chaos or #law #529 from your cell. This is a paid advertisement. Guys, let me tell you something, all right? You know, you don't have to choose between hair growth and our health. You don't have to do that. You know why? Because Nutrafol is here. I'm Chrissy Nutrafol, and I'm telling you why. Nutrafol is a drug-free, whole-body approach that promotes hair growth from within. No compromises, just better hair. I mean, look at Steve's hair right here. That's Nutrafol, baby. Fucking beautiful, gorgeous, lovely hair. And he's single, ladies and gentlemen. Did you know that 80% of men will experience hair thinning in their lifetime? 80%, but not Stevie and I. You know why? Because we're Nutrafols, okay? We're a couple of Nutrafols hanging out in the neighborhood. That's what we do. And look at our gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous hair. I mean, Steve's hair is, I'm going to show you pics of Steve's hair one day. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand with over 1 million people seeing thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding. The last thing you want is a shed. I used to shed, not anymore. Nutrafol. That's what it is, okay? The first step to visibly thicker, healthier hair for a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners 10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com/men and enter the promo code chaos. I love a /men. Love it. Men. Nutrafol.com/men. Enter the promo code chaos. Find out why 4,500 healthcare professionals and hairstylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. That's Nutrafol.com/men. Men. I love it. And that's spelled Nutrafol.com/men and enter that promo code chaos. That's Nutrafol.com/men, promo code chaos. I want your hair thicker than a Snicker. Dude, by the way, and then we'll get back to it, but yesterday I took the subway to the place Jazz and I went to, and this homeless lady, granted, it's psychosis, but it is a way to get a train cart to yourself. She shit in a plastic bag, had it left open, and was just sitting next to her, and people would walk onto the cart and then run to the next cart or the next step, and she literally, because the train pulled in to my train station, and there was nobody in that cart, so I was like, let's go to this one. And Jasmine, being from Sunset Park, was like, there's got to be a reason nobody's in there. I said, Jazz, just get on the train. So we get on the train, and then immediately you're dry heaving because she had an open bag of her shit, open, just looking around, sprawled out on a bench. Everybody, when we got, and by the way, the train stop by me, the next stop is 4 stops away. It goes express. So we were on it for 8 minutes, like a herd of wild animals ran to the next car. One guy didn't get on, he was on the train and didn't get on the next car because people wouldn't let him on.
I would have gone home. Like, there's just, that to me is almost scarier than a gun. Like somebody with an open bag of human shit. Like, what the fuck could you do as a defense against that? You can't kick that woman. You can't, you're just liable to get her fucking hepatitis all over your skin.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Do you give the people getting on the train a heads up?
No, I thought in the moment, in hindsight, I want to say yes. I want to say that I would, but I absolutely didn't. I fought for my own life and mine own life.
I had a bad homeless train a few weeks ago, and then me and my wife were getting off, and as we were getting off, I was like, should we say something? And then she looks at me and says, nobody told us. Okay. And I was like,
look at that. That's cold.
That's cold, but women, because you know what it is, in your wife, she's got, like, in her brain, she's like, I'm a mother. I will one day be a mother. I need to protect. You're an ogre who will go out and find, not you, but like men are ogres. You go out and you have, no.
Vito really is if Shrek wished to be a man.
Yes. I don't mean that. I meant like men. She thinks like men, like we get the club, go beat the animals, bring back the food. I will protect everybody. So deep in the thing, she's like, I am not going to put me and our unborn child at risk. So you say nothing because we were told nothing.
Yeah.
But we're more like I want to help everybody. And then you get killed. So with the gut.
Wait, did you wash her shit?
My buttons just fell off. No, it was it was piles of shit in an open bag.
That might have been days. She might have been collecting that bag. That might not have been one shit.
And by the way, speaking of that, but
might have been from some of her friends.
Right. And I was actually going to walk up to her and ask her to go get checked by a doctor, because Dr. Pooh also did say that one of the telltale signs of colon cancer is, yes, anytime you have blood in your stool, go to the doctor. You have to go to the doctor. It's like
dark, right? Dark blood
especially.
Dark
blood, he said, is a problem, but any type of blood go. But he said that along with the telltale sign, he goes, is when your shit smells horrific. Like where he said, there's times now and I was like, that's every time.
Yeah, I don't know how to gauge that.
Yeah, so because he was like, now he knows when he's walking through the hospital, and he's got like a console. He's like, I can smell their cancer from the hallway. And I'm like, I want to be like, lady, this is horrific.
he's like one of those medicinal cats that they let go in the hospital wing, and they just perch up on a bed of the guy who's going to die next.
But dude, Dr. Pooh, the episode with Stephen Bartlett, Diary of a CEO, I think is, now listen, I only listened to it 3 days ago, so I'm going to tell you that it's had this profound effect on my life and it's changed me for the better, and that may not be true. I may absolutely have a Diet Coke upon leaving here.
Yeah, this is what I love about you, though, is that you're like Chrissy Trends, in the sense that like you have a new passion every single week.
Yep.
And each week you have this is now the code for my life.
Yep.
And it lasts for a little while, and then you move to another code, but all of those codes are noble.
Yes.
So I'm not here to say you're fucking a flip-flopper.
Yes.
I'm just saying you're code switching.
We are noble. We are noble. And let me tell you this. I mentioned last week about self-sabotage. I want to get into self-sabotage. I saw a meme about a month ago about self-sabotage, and the very first thing, it's almost like they wrote it for me. The very first thing they said that is when you have found peace in your life and then you search for chaos, that's self-sabotage. Yeah. And I've realized that I have been in a pattern of that for quite some time, and I've been learning this lesson the hard way this time, or I don't want to say the hard way, but the most profound lessons have come in the last 3-4 months of my life because I sold my house on Staten Island and moved. I had a great mortgage rate. I had a house at a great price, a house that my kids loved, kids in a good school system, but I was like, I can't walk and get a bagel. So I had peace, and I said, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell the house for way less than it was worth. Sell it quickly because I created an urgency and a chaos that did not exist. And I said, I'm going to sell the house. I'm going to move my family from this big, beautiful house into a 2-bedroom apartment in the neighborhood that I can walk to get a bagel, where there's plenty of neighborhoods in Staten Island where you could do that. I said, I'm going to do that. I said, my stepson will figure it out. My 8-year-old daughter will figure it out. It's not even going to affect my 2-year-old because what does she know? And Jazz will figure it out. Well, I'll tell you what. I did all that. We are now in a house that we're renting, we're in a house that we're renting that is a beautiful home, but doesn't look anything like the house that we have in Staten Island, where I'm paying more money than my mortgage was. I'm paying more money in rent to live somewhere else. I now, yes, can walk to go get a bagel. Okay. My kids are not really that happy in the new school, and the one that it affected by far the most was my 2-year-old. She was sleeping every night in Staten Island like it was no problems at all. Just sleeping, put her to bed. Now it takes 2 hours to get her to bed, and it has since we moved because she's like, where am I? We keep moving.
Oh, man.
We were in an apartment. We first moved to the apartment. That apartment had an issue, so we had to move all our stuff in and then move out within a month. So 2 moves.
Dude, every day she's like waking up from a blackout.
Yes.
Every day, just like,
every day.
Where the fuck am I?
So all that. So now in an effort to, I will not move my daughter's school again. So I was like, we are staying here. This is where my kids are going to go to school and grow up because I'm not giving them any more change. We have to set down roots. But the neighborhood that we chose to set down roots, which is in walking distance of the kids' school, the house that I have now put an offer in on is twice as expensive as a Staten Island house with a mortgage rate that went twice as high. So I have learned the valuable lesson of self-sabotage. I think I've learned it, and I'm hoping now when those demons pop up again, I realize what it is and I can deal with it. But I have absolutely put myself, because of self-sabotage, in an uphill incline, which I have probably been doing unconsciously since the time I became an adult or even an adolescent.
Question. So are you not, is the apartment still happening, or now you're...
That fell through.
And now, yes, and now you're going to
the third option.
And now you're going to a house in the same neighborhood.
In the same neighborhood, 3 blocks away. The house is dope.
I believe it. I know the area. The houses are all beautiful.
The houses are dope, and I'm like, and there has been yesterday, there was like a giddiness to Jazz.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is it? Like, she was being so nice. Like, she out of nowhere was like, thank you for everything you do for me, for us. Like, I love you so much. Like, all these things. And I was like, what? Like, are you going to tell me like you're going to be dead? Like, what has happened? It's
Pinot and painting, dude.
Why are you being nice to me? And I thought, it's got to be because of the paint stuff. She was like, I don't know. I'm just happy today. And I think it's because even though nothing's set in stone, I, got the A-OK from my accountant to put in an offer for this house. And I think she's feeling now, finally,
stability. This
nightmare is going to end and we're going to be back in a place that has roots. Yes, it's a little different. This house doesn't have a pool. It's not nearly as big, and there's changes, but it's like it's a house, a newly renovated house. The kids each have their own bedrooms. We can sit and stay here.
When would the move-in be?
As soon as I can get a mortgage cleared. So I'm hoping in the next 2 months.
Oh, so this is better than the apartment, because the apartment you would have had to wait like a year or something.
Because we wouldn't even be closed on the apartment yet, and then we have to fully gut renovated. So in theory they say this could take 3 months, but it could take 6. House is already renovated.
Can you do me a favor? I want you to reach out to the guy who you sold the Staten Island house to.
Yeah.
And I want you to check in, and I want you to see what his happiness level is at.
That's a good idea.
I swear to Christ, the day he's Palestinian, the day we sold him the house, we closed on October 7th, is the day Palestine invaded Israel, and him and his family went back to Palestine.
No shit.
And my neighbors told me that house has been sitting there as empty as it was the day we left, he's fully paying for it.
He closed on 2 lands that
day. Yeah. So it is one of those things where, like, I've talked to my dad about it, and he's like, no, you did what you thought was best for your family. And maybe that's true. Maybe hindsight, they say hindsight's 20/20. In that moment, everybody, the adults, were like, this is a good move. Go be in civilization. So I do feel a lot better that now I can walk out and be on a sidewalk and walk to the bagel store, and I can be in, I can find a suburban feel and a kind of street feel. But now that the dust is settling, and this happens to me a lot with decisions I make, the dust starts to settle, and I'm like, I made a horrific mistake, and I was full emotions in the moment, and I chose the wrong emotions. But I don't know if that's the truth or that's my brain playing yet another trick on me, saying, you're romanticizing the past.
That's what it is, 100%. Well, the interesting thing about it is that, like, you only have this self-sabotage thing for your personal life, but career-wise, it works for you. Like all these things that you're not supposed to say, not supposed to do, it all works hand in hand with comedy. And then in your personal life, it just throws turmoil into the mix.
Right.
The thing is, your decision-making isn't even wrong. Your decision-making has a lot of intuition to it, a lot of reason to it. It makes a lot of sense. The only thing in this that could be even debated is your pace. The reason why you needed to sell it immediately. You needed to move immediately, even though you didn't even have a house. You had to do all this shit immediately, everything right now. That's all the frantic anxiety shit. That's not the decision making or anything like that. So that's the stuff that you can kind of go back and be like, all right, next time maybe I'll pace it a little bit better, or I'll have the thought and the feeling and I'll sit with it, and I will not allow it to make me make instant rash decisions. Because I have it the exact opposite. I have career self-sabotage, and my personal life at home, I'm like you with my career. Everything that I'm supposed to be doing.
Go to patreon.com/ChristyComedy. Tell us, who would you rather be?
It's an easy choice. Just read the comments. You'll see. But it is one of those things, because, my self-sabotage is all mental and emotional, where, like, I don't really go with actions. I do stuff to harm myself internally. And even then, I will sit with my suffering in silence and won't really even share it with people, because 1, I don't find it interesting, and 2, I find people will think I'm being grating for having a human experience.
Right. So it's an interesting thing. And by the way, patreon.com/ChristyComedy, we will be talking about the Richard Dreyfuss, Bill Maher podcast episode, which is an absolute must-watch, must-listen. That's what we're going to be talking about. And some more. We'll name names. And
beanbag chair Richard Dreyfuss.
Yes. We'll say some things too. We say some things over there as well that, like, you shouldn't, you just cannot say on YouTube. But this self-sabotage thing is another thing, in addition to that, what I've been thinking about and what this meme said, and I was like, that I think applies to me, is I am someone who I know. That's where I used to live. Vito has
I was gonna say that before too, dude. There was a bagel place that I almost always stopped by before going to Chris's, and it's a block and a half away.
It's a 14-minute walk, Chris.
Yes, but there's no sidewalks there, and you have to walk off the side of a highway, which I didn't love.
Okay, that's
yeah. And it was into a strip mall, which I didn't feel like you were in any bit of society, but I absolutely self-sabotaged myself. And if I was just thinking about, if I was thinking about money buying me freedom and happiness and just being happy where my family's at, I would have 1,000% stayed at that house with that rate and figured it out. And I didn't. And now I've put myself in a position where, not that, my account has greenlit it, but he's like, I have now increased what I need to make to cover this house. So I have to now build it up, right? Where it would have been much easier financially to stay there, and I could have went at my own pace. But there is something...
With that said, new dates announced at ChristyComedy.com.
As I've told you, please, for the love of God, buy tickets to Nashville, Washington, D.C., and Reno, Nevada, I absolutely need your help.
Folks, it's for the two of us because, frankly, I'm living in somebody's carriage house right now. So for the love of God, get my family out of there.
Yes. So ChristyComedy.com, MikeCannonComedy.com, all your support matters. And I genuinely love performing. And I feel, and I think, Mike, you feel this way too. I do feel like I don't work for a living. I feel like money is a secondary thing, and I love doing it. And I hope you guys at the shows love,
You shouldn't be able to go to your job and improve your mental health.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or at least, and not that you shouldn't, but it's rare. It's rare that you do, because I find myself when I'm not doing comedy, even around the holidays when I took like a couple days off, then you get back up and you do it and you're like, oh man, I feel new. Like I feel like I just went to the gym. I felt like I ate clean. Like I just felt like a worked out version of myself. And I didn't even realize that I was just, unexpressive or whatever for the last 3 days, operating at a low depression.
Right.
But until you get up on stage.
Dude, I've been drinking so much coffee, my right eyeball just shakes. Is that crazy?
Yeah, I get that with the corner.
Yeah.
The corner flap skin.
One other thing that this meme said that I felt applied to me, and I'm wondering if you think it applies to you, or is this just, algorithm BS again that's warping my brain? They said that if you're someone who I feel like I am someone who I will tell a stranger the deepest, darkest secrets of my life, it's because I'm lonely.
Yeah.
You're dealing with loneliness, and you can be lonely even if you're surrounded by friends and family, because loneliness is like an emotion, and if you're not connecting, and that's why they think the suicide rate went so high, because you're lonely when you're on the phone.
Interesting.
And I'm addicted to that, so I'm even having a podcast just talking about family secrets that get me in a hell of real trouble in real life. I do it all the time, week after week, and I'm wondering if it's because I'm incredibly lonely.
Yeah, I think we both are on some level, right? Even though we have people that love, that's the plight of an unwell person, is that even if you have a lot of people around you that truly care for you, are rooting for you with every fiber of their being, we still feel like we're alone. Yeah. And nobody's helping us.
Yep. And my accountant reminds me, he goes, because I was worried about this, still am worried about it. He goes, you forget your own advice sometimes that helps people. You forget it, that you have this in your brain. He goes, you told me 6 months ago about money, when you were worried about money. You were like, you know what? To my accountant, I was like, you know what, dude? It's only money. Like, that doesn't buy happiness. I'm fortunate enough to be in a career where even if it's, going out and doing comedy clubs or more shows, we can make the money and I can just live within my means and we can deal with it. And he was like, and he said, you said it so calmly, so profoundly. He was like, I even went and told my wife about it, like how you're my only client that thinks the right way. And now here we are 6 months later, and you're worried about money and you're worried about things. He's like, investing in a house, you're just putting your money, you're moving it from your bank account and you're putting it in an asset that your family is living in. So it's an incredible asset. Yes, the mortgage rate is high, but we'll refinance the mortgage rate when it gets lower. There's always ways. You're not renting. You're not throwing the money away in some ways. He's like, but again, you need a place for your family to live. So, but this is not, don't worry about this. He goes, and yes, you are moving up your monthly expenses, so you probably have to work more. He's like, but I think if you still just work at the pace you want to, it'll figure out. It's not like you're going to go from having money to $0 immediately. If we see that it's trending down, you sell the house. Right. And you uproot your family again.
And then hopefully the 2-year-old will take it like an 8-year-old.
Yep. Yeah. But so I think it's sometimes I like to say these things out loud because I'm like, what do other people feel? And again, call our hotline 347-343-3321 if you have any relationship advice, if you have any specific parenting advice. I think this is a good parenting topic. Tell me, do you feel lonely? Do you feel like you self-sabotage as a parent or as a person? Mike and I will answer your questions. We pick 2 or 3 voicemails at patreon.com/ChristyComedy. So call that Chrissy Chaos hotline.
Well, and the way it works with me, and I've talked about this before, but like the comment section or anything like that, or negative DMs or whatever, that like fucks with me. It fucks with everybody, but it fucks with me because I tend to believe it more than I believe the comments. And that is confirmation bias. And that is self-sabotage based on all of that shit.
Right.
So like when I'm reading through hundreds of people saying nice shit to me all the time, and then one person says, actually, he sucks, I don't care for anything he brings to the table, my brain is like, that person sees me. That person knows exactly who I am. They are the correct one.
Right.
And that's like, then I go down that road of having low self-value. And that in and of itself is like a self-sabotage.
Yep.
And then it also double bums me out that while I'm talking to my son or hanging out with my loved ones and I'm making eye contact and technically connecting with them, in the back of my head, I have that voice of like, check your phone, check to see who says you suck. You want to see, like, and it's not like, of course, it's not good. It's not, there's no real family over there that I can go to and be like, well, they're the ones that actually love me. No, it's like, those are the ones that see me for who I actually am. They know I stink.
Well, we had Jimmy Carr on a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago by now, and he had said, you know, he can't really meditate. He's meditating when he's with his child. He's not on his phone. He doesn't have his phone, and he's like, I'm with my kid. And I tried to apply that, and it didn't work. The phone won every time.
It's a powerful mistress.
Yo, it's
it really
crazy.
is. I'm trying to truly like bury it on the other side of the house, because the only thing that can beat my addiction to my phone is my pure laziness, like is my unwillingness to get up out of my seat. So if I can somehow dose myself with an edible and put my phone at the furthest point away, then I can really spend quality time with my son.
Or what if you just get a microchip and make the phone a part of you? So you don't have to get up and get it.
And then I'm just reading messages while talking to him.
Like they're doing in Sweden.
New year, so it's a great time to grow your business, okay? If you're stuck in the trenches of daily tasks like managing order fulfillment, you're not able to focus on what really matters, and that is increasing sales. That's what I tell my children every morning they wake up. I say, I don't care what you're doing. I just need you to increase the sales. No matter where you sell or how you ship, your business can grow with ShipStation. You make ship happen. ShipStation can help increase your profitability by automating your workflow and keeping costs down with industry-leading discounts, okay? And flow is not going to stop your workflow because you got ShipStation. The order details page lets you quickly and easily update crucial order information and reduce errors. And remember, folks, an error is not a mistake until you refuse to correct it. Shout out my 6th grade science teacher. Love you, babe. ShipStation has enterprise solutions that reduce warehouse costs and improve profitability. It's all about profitability. Keep the cost down, make the profit, make the money. Over 130,000 companies have grown their e-commerce business with ShipStation, and 98% of those companies that stick with ShipStation for a year become customers for life, okay? Come on, those are good numbers. Right now, all you got to do is go to ShipStation.com, put in that promo code CHAOS, and you are going to get a free 30-day trial. That's ShipStation.com. Put in that promo code CHAOS. You're going to get a free 30-day trial. ShipStation, make ship happen. Here's the thing, all right? I'm getting a little bit older. The other day, my family says, Chris, you have lines on your forehead. I said, I don't. They said, your forehead is wrinkly as shit. So you need to iron out your forehead. I said, well, how the hell am I supposed to do that? I don't know how to deal with a wrinkly forehead. And they were like, we know how to help you. I said, how? They said, one word. I said, what is it? They said, Genucel. I said, Genucel? They said, Genucel. They start rubbing this cream on my forehead. Look at how non-wrinkled my forehead looks today. That's from Genucel. Okay, I tried to put it on my testicles. It didn't work. Those are the wrinkliest. That's the wrinkliest piece of skin I've ever had in my life. There's nothing that can ever help you with that. But if we're talking about forehead wrinkles, if we're talking about sagging jaw lines, if we're talking about dark marks, skin redness, eye bags under your eye, Genucel, folks. Genucel. Say goodbye to those fine lines and forehead wrinkles and bags under your eye. Genucel is saving the day. Okay, I rubbed it all over Vito the other day. And look at how smooth and clean Vito looks right now. I rubbed him down with Genucel for his birthday. That's all he wanted. He said, bathe me in Genucel. I said, no problem, babe. And he got lathered up. And that's what it is. It has immediate effects. Genucel promises results that will make you smile, guaranteed. or 100% of your money back. That's what I like about this company. They literally put their money where their beautiful wrinkle-free mouth is. They say, if you don't like this, if you don't smile, 100% of your money back. For a limited time, Genucel's top-selling hyaluronic acid serum is included free in every most popular package. You enjoy maximum skin hydration for a more youthful appearance, okay? Your skin looking thirsty, girl. I got Genucel. Yum, 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 yum. Go to Genucel.com/chaos. Enter the code chaos at checkout for extra savings. Every order placed is automatically upgraded to free shipping. That's Genucel, GENUCEL.com/chaos. Enter the code chaos. Checkout for extra savings. Every single order you get automatically upgraded to free shipping. Upgrade your shipping, upgrade your face, use Genucel.
Because I want to talk about the Prison Planet. The Prison Planet Reddit, okay? I got two things. I want to talk about the Prison Planet Reddit, and then I want you to remember to remind me the funny fart story.
Okay.
The Prison Planet Reddit, okay? I am not in no way, shape, or form saying that this is true, that I even believe this. It just kind of, if it is true, it's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Tucker Carlson, yeah boy, Tucker Carlson talked about this a little bit, and then it was all over Reddit, and there are some pretty prominent people in the world who believe this, the quote unquote powers that be, that what actually is happening in the world right now is it's not aliens out there all the way in a distant planet. They're right here in another dimension. It's not about, it's about vibrations, and we are 3D humans, and it's 4D, 5D, 6D. I don't really understand it, but it's all happening right here.
They're just saying us as human beings, our meat vessel and our brain and all that is cannot perceive them. They are operating within our universe, but they're dimensionally just something that we can't see or touch.
They're as here as us. They can just see, and they think that
this is also based in like Carl Sagan shit. So this isn't just like conspiracy nonsense.
Right. And they're saying, though, what is happening, what this prison planet means is that we operate, that even Nikola Tesla said this, that the universe is vibration. That's the main currency of the universe. It's higher vibrations, lower vibrations. The higher the vibrations, the more power you have. The lower vibrations, the less power you have. That we are normal people, right, are trapped. Our souls are trapped in this prison planet, that when you die and you see the light, that's all a trick by these reptilian fourth dimension or higher beings who actually rule. They feed off our anxiety, depression, grief, and negative emotions as fuel. Mm-hmm. That is their power. That is what feeds them. Okay. And that the only way out of this is to be a very, very high frequency, vibration frequency individual, like a monk. That's why they spend all that time meditating, because they can get supposedly out of this low frequency and get into a high frequency. And that big celebrities or whomever, certain people have made a deal, like a Justin Bieber or Barack Obama, just using them as an example, like people that everybody knows have made a deal with these fourth dimensional reptilian beings that really rule the world, that said, I will give you my soul for eternity, that you can eat for eternity off my emotions. But every time I come back, because history and the earth, it's all happening now. So you could just go, 1500s isn't in the past to them. It's just in another dimension. That it's happening right now. They can just swap you. That every time I come back to whatever dimension whatever time in history you try to put me in, I have the same status. So
prominent.
I'm Justin Bieber today, but back then I was Alexander the Great.
Beyonce, Cleopatra, Barack Obama. I think it was like Akhenaten or something like that, some Egyptian king. So the thing is, like,
so that's what they believe, and that's what Tucker Carlson said. He absolutely has confirmed is real from his sources. And Alex Jones. Well, so they've confirmed that that's real. And if that is in any way, shape, or form true, it's scary.
I think there's truth to it. I don't know if people are consuming energy in like a direct way, maybe subconsciously and stuff like that. But I think the low vibrations and that shit, it's feeding them monetarily. Like,
Right.
I don't think that energetically they're necessarily like true serpents just soaking up our humanity like that. They are being just funneled money based on our fear and paranoia. So I think there's something to that.
But what did Carl Sagan say? Like, what is it?
Carl Sagan was just talking about, and this is my belief with aliens, is that aliens, it's not about a faraway place. It is, they are here, they are with us right now. They're just in a dimension that we are incapable of perceiving, which I'm totally on board with. I think the fact that they're kind of showing up as aliens right now at this exact time with all that's going on internationally seems a bit fishy. And I think the story and the fact that it just kind of goes away for months at a time and then comes back is in like, hey, remember aliens? Remember we said we found those? Then it goes away and it comes back. It's all kind of media manipulation and not necessarily based on actual disclosure. Dude, the thing, because I'm into all of this stuff. I am into vibrational feelings. I am into existing energetically. I'm into afterlife. I've done DMT, so I feel like I've experienced part of it. The thing that I've been kicking around lately is I'm starting to think that this is a simulation for all of us individually, and we never die until the end in our simulation. So to your simulation, I might die at 39, but I'm going to keep living in my simulation until I'm 78, 80, whatever, like a full life. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like as people are dropping off, that's just my simulation dropping them off. That's not necessarily their life path at all. And they could potentially be living an entire life in a different dimension.
So like our good friend Kenny DeForest, who just passed away, he's not.
I think he's living on
in a different
direction.
He's dead in our simulation, but he's not, or mine or yours.
Yeah. But this is also somebody who has lost a lot of friends. Like so maybe this is
what we call coping.
This is somebody that doesn't deal well with loss. But I do truly, like, there's part of me that really does believe that, where I don't know, it just seems like this is such a sliver experience, like such a weird moment of consciousness, and the before and afterlife are more or less one and the same, that that theory of like this might be hell, I'm not that far off. I really don't think so. I think this is actually heaven and hell. Like, this is the fucking afterlife that we're currently in, and it's not in perpetuity. The actual, like, the consciousnessless love, just existence without Chris, without Mike, that's what everything is. This is just us gaining experience and, like, I lost the train of thought.
There it is. I think listen, it's one of those things where I think because of the internet or the time in history we're living, like this idea of like a prison planet of grief and all that, it's just more believable today than it would be 30 years ago. Because like 30 years ago, if I said aliens are real, you'd be like, no, they're not.
Right.
But now you're like, well, of course they are. Yeah. So everything becomes more believable. Like Vito, I sent to the Chaos Cox group chat, pull up the Miami PD, all the police coming to, it was in our group chat, the Miami police going, they said that it was teenagers fighting, but it was literally like over 100 cop cars and nobody saw any teenagers. And a lot of people think that this had something to do with extraterrestrials or something that the government didn't want us to know about.
A little Men in Black.
Yeah, so that one. Yep. So let's look at this quick. So it's a 2-minute clip, but whatever. There's a couple of cop cars, and then if you start to fast forward it, there's so many cars. Like there's only 3,000 police in the Miami PD. And right here, if you figure there's 2 cops in every car, there was like 1,000 police there.
We find out later Biden's just doing blow in a club.
Yeah. But it's like they don't. So listen, people go to like extraterrestrial stuff right away and whatever stuff right away. But there is definitely, for sure, I know that the government knows a lot more than they're telling us. And I just think we have to accept we'll never know about it.
Yeah.
So you're only ever going to make hypotheticals. But that's why when I read that Prison Planet Reddit, I was like, am I believing this because I tend to believe everything now because of how much stuff has been uncovered? Or is it real? And the only thing that can protect me is the case for Christ.
That's right. You actually are getting quite a bit away from Jesus.
Yes.
With this line of thinking. So,
but
again,
Jesus
code
says,
switching.
but to Jesus' credit, Jesus says that's okay. Because the further you go away from me, the more you'll believe in me.
Yeah.
Because it'll just confirm how real I am.
Well, and you don't have to waste your time trying to get other people into Christ, because people often forget this little passage. Narrow is the path.
That's it.
Right?
Narrow is the path. I remember, I think it was, it had to be Catholicism. I went to Catholic school, where they said if you're like a good person, like if you're a really good person, you can get into heaven, and when you get there, you still have to walk on the path, but the path will be as big as an 8-lane highway. If you're like a piece of shit person, you'll still have an opportunity to get to heaven, but it's literally as if you're walking across a mountain on a tightrope. So if you can make it good for you, and there were times in my little brain where I'd be like, you know what? I'll be a piece of shit down here and take my chances up there.
Just Joseph Gordon-Levitt between the Twin Towers.
Dude, I want to tell you real quick that I went away with, like Jasmine's friends, who are now my friends, but like we went away, like, 3 couples to this beautiful farmhouse up called Silent G Farms up in like the Monticello area. It was amazing. And so we went away, everybody had kids, whatever. It was nice. It was really nice. But anyway, like, on the second day in, all the kids were like sitting in like one room, watch TV, my kids included. And I go to the kids. I was like, guys, one of the little kids' names, Harold or whatever. I was like, count to three right now, count to 3. And my Delilah, she knows it. She's like, Dad, don't do it. I was like, count to 3. Kids are gonna love it. And I ripped one of the wettest, stinkiest, crazy farts of all time. And not one kid laughed. Not one parent laughed. One of the actual women, women mothers who I kind of don't really know, she was like, that's disgusting. We do not do that in my family. And Jasmine was mortified, and she pulled me out of the house like a school child, yelled at me, and made me go back in and apologize to the group.
For being fun?
That's what I said.
That's bullshit.
There was one other father who was like my boy. He was like, that was one of the best things I've seen in years. He goes, one of the moms baked Nutella chocolate chip cookies. What did they think was going to happen?
With milk?
Yeah.
Come on, man. You should have put your dirty panties in her pillowcase.
Yep.
Just wake up with pink eye.
Yeah, and then guess what? And then I, later on in the day, I had full diarrhea and clogged the toilet and blamed it on one of her kids. And it was me. I said, he must have flushed a toy down the toilet, but it's really my blatant blop of diarrhea, which is also an issue. Talk about the Bristol, that Dr. Poo episode. They talk about what your poo should look like. It is a must listen to, okay? It is a must listen to. And by the way, longer episodes is going to be the norm. I know it's only 45 minutes the last 2 weeks, but again, I ruined my schedule. So but I hopefully that it's quality and not quantity that matters to you people. And I will say some of the best podcasts that I listen to, The Daily Stoic being one of them, and Dr. Peter Attia, who sometimes has long episodes, but sometimes now, and let me know, by the way, at patreon.com/ChristyComedy or on the YouTube community board, do you care if it's longer or not? Because some of the best episodes I listen to are like what I look for. If I see a 15-minute episode, I'm like, I'm listening because I can digest it. Or sometimes when I see 2.5 hours, I'm like, I'll just listen to the clips. Do we have a clips page?
We do. We have Chrissy Chaos clips, and we have the Chrissy Chaos YouTube. And
we're going to start we put out Chrissy Chaos like 5-10-minute clips every week, right? Or we will now.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to start doing that because I love the clips idea. Yeah. Like put out 10 minutes, doesn't have to be that highly edited. Just throw it out there. And then, in the beginning, put welcome to the Joe Rogan experience. All right, ChristyComedy.com for all my stand-up dates. Please, for the love of God, buy the tickets. My mortgage rate's too high.
That's right. MikeCannonComedy.com. I'm still renting.
Yep, that's what it is. I'll be in Reno, Vegas, Nevada, Washington, D.C., and Nashville.
Yep. I'm going to be in Tampa, Vegas, Chandler, Arizona, and then more dates in February. Filming a special actually in April, so come out to that as well. MikeCannonComedy.com.
There you go, my friends. And then we got we got restocked merch at ChristyComedy.com. Go buy it. And thank you so much for the Chrissy Chaos Podcast. Follow us at Chrissy Chaos Pod on IG, Chrissy Chaos Pod on YouTube, Christy Comedy on YouTube. Right?
Yeah.
Ralph, John, anything?
That's it. I know the sound was fucked up a few weeks ago. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Bye.
consecrate.